Morning, everybody. How are we doing today? Hopefully wonderful. Hopefully wonderful on this fantastic Friday. I wish I could say the weather was nice here in Newcastle, but I can't. Well, if you're a duck, it's good weather. That will give you a clue as to how much it has been raining. But anyway, we're going to get in the festive spirit today, and we're going to do a nice quiz. It's going to be on corrections, the badge series that we've just been running. And remember, this is all a bit of fun for you, just to test your knowledge of what you've been learning over the last week or two. So no pressure. Make sure you've got a notepad open or a pen and paper, whichever way you choose to scribe your answers. And if you've been here before, you know exactly what the rules are. But if you haven't been here before, these are the rules. Your microphone is muted automatically, so if you need to cough or sneeze, don't worry, we're not going to hear you. You're not going to interrupt or interject anything that we're doing today. So feel free. Even if a Christmas song comes on, you want to sing along on the radio, be my guest. You can send us questions, but it's going to be me asking you the questions today, and I am on my own. There is no support, so please be patient in the time which it takes me to reply. I will try and answer as many as I possibly can verbally. If I can't answer them during this allotted time today, I'll get back to you afterwards. But you're not always going to see the question that is asked, and that's because I'm not going to be typing out an answer because I'm on my own today. I'm going to be answering verbally, so don't worry. Now, there is no handout today. Someone once made the mistake of uploading a handout on a quiz. I'm not mentioning any names, but it gave everybody the answers. So there is going to be no handout today whatsoever. You will receive a copy of the recording, though, an hour after it is concluded. So if you do want to retest your brain, you can do, just listen to the recording. And obviously, we'll go through the answers as well. Now, it's all about the badging series, isn't it? And this is what we've been looking at, corrections. So as long as you've attended 3 of the 4 topics and 1 of the quizzes, I'm going to be sending you out your digital badge on Credible, which we would love it if you could share it on LinkedIn. We have the ability to see who shared it on LinkedIn. It's fantastic when we're scrolling through to see how many people have put that little badge on there. You can also have it on your CV, just to show people that you are equipped and can deal with various different types of corrections in Sage 50 accounts. We've been looking at customers and suppliers, bank payments, receipts and transfers journals, and VAT or VAT transactions, which if you're at that one with me, you'll know that there was elves in the system and everything went a little bit upside down, didn't it? But we got there in the end, so hopefully you gleaned a lot of information from it as well. And today is obviously the quiz. Now, what we're going to be covering, quite easy. I've just got your message there, Simon. I will not mention any names. But yes, today what we're going to be covering is questions 1 to 4, 5 to 8, 9 to 12, 13 to 16, and the final round. So 4 questions per round, each valued at 1 point. And then we've got a final round at the end, which if you've been here before, you'll know what's coming. If not, I'm not going to ruin the surprise. But yes, nice and simple. I will be going through each question and then each round's answers. I'll try and get a couple of demos in when I can, but with it being corrections, it's quite a difficult one to demo constantly because you've got to have the mistake that's been made in different data sets. And I don't want to be taking up too much of your time on this Friday, so I'll do what demos are possible. But as I say, it is a bit of fun today, just to test your knowledge. And you will be marking your own quizzes, so be as honest as you can with the answers. It's basically just to identify knowledge gaps that you might have. We don't need to mark them though, so don't worry. At the end, I will be asking you what your scores are. You don't have to type them into the chat, don't worry. But it's nice to get that little bit of interaction so we can see how well the information has landed. What I will say as well is because it is a corrections quiz, easy for me to say, there are multiple ways that you can correct things. I'm going to give you a couple of clues there. So even though you may get the answer wrong, you still may be right in a certain way, if you know what I mean. But the corrections that we cover are the best ways to do things and the quickest ways to do things. So some of the answers you might think, well, I don't do that. If it works for your processing, it works. Superb. As you can see there, who is your favorite webinar presenter? Matt Michael or someone else, as he put when he created that. Brilliant. We all love Michael, don't we? Right, then let's begin. No further ado, we're 5 minutes in. Let's jump in to round one. And it is in the form of a polling system. So I'm going to ask you the first 4 questions, select which answers are applicable, and then we shall move on. I'll wait until around about 70% of you have answered. So here we go. First question, question 1. Should be up on your screens there. And it is, if you edit a critical field in a transaction, what is the impact? Is it the original transaction is amended with no additional posting, or the original transaction is cancelled and a new one posted? Good question, hasn't it? Again, this will be from Laura's webinar in corrections. It's one of the first ones, if not the first one, I believe. This is excellent coming through. We've had 60% voting in so far. Wait for another couple more, and then we shall move on. Brilliant. And don't worry if you don't get to vote. You can still count your answer. It just helps me know when we're going to be moving on. So I'm going to close that one. Let's see where the majority of us landed, shall we? Well, the majority, if not all, went for B. Superb. Question 2. This one's a nice one too. Wake up the brain a wee bit. What does update ledgers do? That little button there, what does that do? A, allows you to print an invoice, but B, it updates your stock in customer ledgers. This question's a bit like stretching before a run, isn't it? What do you think? Of course, it's an open book quiz as well. So if you do want to pop over to, say, 50 accounts and click around a bit, you can do. No one's going to hold it against you. Superb answers coming in so far. And I think we could pull the poll at that point there. We've got over nearly 80% answered. Look at that. Never happened before, but we've got 200% answers in the first 2 questions. Super duper. Question 3. Starting getting a bit tougher now. Next question. I have posted a purchase invoice and it has been paid with a purchase payment. How do I reverse this manually? Post a credit or post a credit note and a refund? Are we going to have 3 of 3 on this one? Again, this all is applicable as well as if you actually do these processes. So if you don't do one of these transactions or the process, then I'd be impressed if you knew how to correct it. Yeah, but there are clues there. Brilliant. These are very quick answers. Obviously, speed isn't always the best when it comes to processing or answering questions, but it is a marker of confidence. So Laura can be happy with what she's put forward so far. We have 64% voted. We just need a few more clicks of the button, and we'll move on to the final question of round 1. Brilliant. Let's have a look and see where we went, shall we? So 90% post a credit note and a refund, 10% post a credit. Again, it's all down to how you process, isn't it? But this is the most correct way in which to do things. 90% say B, 10% say A. Final question of the round. There we have it. I have incorrectly matched a sales credit to a sales invoice. What's the easiest way to fix it? Is it A, click on allocate, or B, delete both transactions? So again, what's the easiest way to fix it? Both ways technically fix this issue. What's the easiest one? Tracy asked a very good question there. Out of curiosity, how many people are attending? Well, we had over 126 people registered for it today. So it's a busy, busy session. We know Fridays are often a quiet day, which is why we try and schedule the quizzes for Fridays. Friday mornings as well, because a lot of people tend to have an early dart, don't they, on a Friday? So we try our best to schedule it when most people will be free and able. But that's why we run it twice. So if you can't attend one, you can attend the next one. Superb. 84% of votes have coming in. So let's have a look and see where we went. Percent click on allocate. So 3 out of 4 questions all lent towards 100% of you answering in one certain direction. Okay. Shall we go through the answers? This is where I'd usually pass the microphone across to my glamorous assistant, but unfortunately he's not here this morning. So you're going to have to deal with me again. So you should be able to see on your screen now the answer to question 1. So if you edit a critical field in a transaction, what is the impact? There we are. Answer is B. So the original transaction is cancelled and a new one is posted. So when you edit a critical field, essentially Sage Accounts, 50 accounts doesn't simply just amend it. It cancels the original and posts a new one, as you can see, because that's a critical field. So if we have a look, if we can, at my data here, again, I'm using my VAT corrections on VAT corrections. But if we take a non-reconciled transaction, we'll pick up this one here because it's the only one that's not reconciled, nice and easy. And if I click on edit, I just do a reference or a description. Let's do details actually, because we can see that a lot easier. And I just put test in here, okay? Click close, click save. Yes, I want to post the changes. You can see that nothing changes. 13 transactions, all that appears is the test in the details there. If I wanted to do a more critical field, if you'd be surprised as we call it, i.e. value. So let's change this from 200 down to 40 there as well. Click close, click save. Yes, I want to post these changes. You can see the transactions number increases to 14. And there you have the original transaction listed there for a reference for your audit. And if we travel back to the transaction 2, you can see it's just been edited to show that. So the original one cancelled here, and then it directs us back to here again. And that's critical, non-critical. So yeah, back to the slides. So it's B. Question 2. What does update ledgers do? Well, it updates your stock for product invoice and obviously customer ledgers as well. I think that was another 100% response question. Now the next question wasn't 100 response, it was 90 to 10. So I have posted a purchase invoice and it's been paid with a purchase payment. How do I reverse this manually? Well, it is to post a credit note and a refund for cash as well. So that ensures that both supply balance and bank account are corrected when you do it that way. So very good. Again, it was a bit more difficult, that question. And question 4, finally, I think we all got this one again, is I've incorrectly matched a sales credit to a sales invoice. What is the easiest way to fix this? It is to just click unallocate. Boom. Round 2. So is this going to be a round of redemption or a continuation of excellence? One of the two. But let's jump into the first question. And this is all about bank payments. Just before we move on to these questions, Simon, can you not just delete both entries? Yes, you can. You can delete them, but it was the easiest way to do them. Oh, you're on question 3. On question 3 there. You potentially could do, again, this is where it's your processing. If you wish to delete things, you can do, but again, it's just how you keep your audit active. But brilliant. Not spotted. But anyway, round 2, question 1, or question 5 in the total quiz. You'll be able to see on your screens now. What happens if you edit the reference on a bank payment? What happens if you edit the reference on a bank payment? A, you can't edit it. B, deletes the transaction. C, updates the transaction. This one, again, it's an interesting one to ask. We've had some excellent fast responses in already, though. I'm glad a certain answer has been picked. Superb. This is brilliant. And what I'm going to do is end the poll there. Tell you what, guys, this could be one of the highest scoring quizzes that we have. Not to give anything away, but I'm just going to share the screen there. 100%. I've gone for C on that one. Superb. Next question. Question 6. But this is all about bank corrections. So you can edit a bank reconciled transaction. True or false? So you can edit a bank reconciled transaction. True or false? I'm going to stay quiet on this one because I tend to give the answer away. I want to start talking about this one. But this one did cause a bit of a conversation when this question was created. I'll walk you through that conversation afterwards. But yes, answers coming through so far. I'm going to end the poll there, share with you the responses. So 76% say true, 24% say false. Next question. Question 7. This is a scenario one again for you. So you've selected the wrong bank account on a bank transfer. Which option is best? Which option is the best to do? Is it edit the account, delete and repost, or reverse the original transaction? So again, this is what I said right at the start of the quiz. Sometimes there's many roads that lead to Rome, isn't there? But this is potentially the best option for you. So you've selected the wrong bank account on a bank transfer. Which option is the best? And again, I'm going to stop talking there because I do start wandering into the answers on these, you know. Michael and Laura do say that to me at times. And Jackie as well used to say it. I do start talking. There we are, 76% of voters. I'm going to share with you that poll there. Interestingly, 63% say A, 26% on B, and 11% on C. So, final question of the round. What does CP stand for? What does CP stand for? Quite literal, not a moralistic question. This one is quite literally, what do those letters stand for in Sage 50 accounts? This one's like a warm down, isn't it? If this one was a warm up, this one's like a warm down question. Superb. There's not much I can add to that one, that question. So I'm going to end the poll there. You either know it or you don't with that one. That's the answer. You either know it or you don't. What does CP stand for? We've got 30% customer payment, 60% cash payment, 10% credit payment, and 0% on card payment. Super duper. Let's go through the answers, shall we? So, what happens if you edit the reference on a bank payment? You can't edit it. You delete the transaction. No, it updates the original because it is a non-critical field, as I've demonstrated in the demonstration. Just to show you that again. So let's say we have a bank receipt here, same treatment, because it's the same category of critical and non-critical. So I appreciate this is a BR, but we can imagine it being a BP at the same time. You would click edit, and then you've got reference here. You can put a full stop, click save, post the changes. There we have it. Reference is now changed. If we click edit again, same transaction, you can see the reference is full stop. Doesn't post anything new whatsoever, just is a non-critical field. So this one, you can edit the bank reconciled transaction. This was a conversation that we had. So the answer is true. You can. You also got to take into consideration the critical, non-critical element of this to see if it will let you have a knock-on impact. But you do have the ability to click on edit, and then Sage 50 accounts will do the rest of the work for you. So if perchance you've answered false on that one because you believe that you can't edit it, you'd have to delete it or reverse it, for example, I can see where you're coming from. But the answer is, as it stands, yes, you can edit because you have the ability to click on that button. So I get it. Question 7. You've selected the wrong bank account on a bank transfer. What option is the best? Well, it's edit the account, as I've said there. You can just switch it over, and it bears no meaning whatsoever. So it'll just edit. You could delete and repost, but you're adding steps. And you could reverse and balance out the original transaction, but again, you're adding steps. So with the question being the best option is just to edit the account that you've selected and put it in the correct one. Jobs are good, nice and quick. And question 8, what does CP stand for? Cash payment. Some of you may not use cash payment, but yes, it is cash payment. Used for when money's paid out as a business directly from the cash or bank. Very good indeed. Let's go through round three. We're running out of time here because I feel like I'm waffling. So I'll jump straight into the questions. Question 9. You've posted a duplicate journal. What is the best option? Is it to manually reverse it, delete it, or edit it? You've posted a duplicate journal. What is the best option? And Journal Corrections was hosted by Michael. So these are all Michael questions. Superb questions coming through. Answers even. Questions, Matthew. I'm asking the questions. Question 9. Super duper. Close and share the poll. As you can see, majority went B, some went for A, and a few went for C. Next question. Question 10. Where's the default tax code setting for journals located? So where is the default tax code setting for journals located? I will give a hint and say, remember, this is open book. Just in case you forgot, you can click along in your program. But I will wait again until 70% have answered, and then I shall move straight on. There's a few pathways there. I think I can feel people clicking as they go here. Next question 10. Where is the default tax code setting for journals located? I'm going to share the poll. You can see majority for B, less than minority for C, and nobody for bank defaults. Superb. Question 11, as we may. So which of the journals can't be deleted? Which of these journals can't be deleted? Imported journals, bank transfers, system-generated year-end journals, or manually entered journals? Which of those journals can't be deleted? Again, I can't talk through this one. Superb coming through there. I'm going to close the poll, share the responses. As you can see, everybody who joined in the poll wanted C. Next question. 12. I like this question. So how can you hide deleted journals from the transactions ledger? Is it switch on hide deleted transactions, B, apply a filter, or C, you can't? Really good question from Michael, this one. Okay. There we have it. Share the responses there. So switch on the hide deleted transactions. B, apply a filter. C, you can't. Let's go through the answers, shall we? So, pens at the ready. Question 9, answer. You've posted a duplicate journal. What's the best option? The best option is to delete it. The other options would leave active journals, whereas deleting it would remove it. So yes, best option is delete. Question 10. Where is the default tax code for journals located? So where's the default tax code for journals located? And those that clicked in the program to have a quick look would see that it was B, settings, company preferences and VAT. And by default, that is set to T9. There we are. Question 11. Which of these journals can't be deleted? I think this was 100% answered correctly, which is C, system generated year-end journals. Fantastic effort from everybody on that one there, because that's not an easy question, that, if I'm honest with you. It is if you watch the webinar with Michael, obviously, I will say that. But yeah, very good answers. And this one, the final one. How can you hide deleted journals from the transactions ledger? Well, it is to apply a filter. There is no option to switch on hide deleted transactions. And you can hide various things in your ledger via applying filters. You can't hide them permanently, obviously, you can just hide them from view temporarily, but you can if you apply filters. If we've got time at the end, I'll show you a demonstration on that one because it's quite a handy tip. But just for the sake of time at the minute, it's 11:32. We'll jump straight into round 4. Round 4, question 1, or 13 in total, and looking for some. If a VAT return has already been reconciled, you can simply edit the transactions included in that return to correct errors. Bit wordy, that one, isn't it? So if that return has already been reconciled, you can simply edit the transactions included in that return just to correct the errors. I went over this in the VAT corrections, and it's a bit of a long question, that one, and there's the reason why I wrote that one a bit longer, just to get the old grey matter working. Superb. One thing to think about when answering this question is, what do we always say before you reconcile a VAT return? Before you hit that reconcile? Do any warnings pop up or anything like that at all? Something to consider. Excellent. I'm going to close the poll on that one, and this one has split the camp. So 53% false, 47% true. Excellent, Simon, yes. Oh, it says take a back up. Nice one. So, question 14. If you need to correct a VAT transaction that was not yet reconciled, what is the recommended approach? So if you need to correct a VAT transaction that was not yet reconciled, what is the recommended approach? Great answers coming through on this one. I'm going to end the poll there. The answers to that will make me feel less mean for the first question. So 100%, yes, edit the transaction directly to update the VAT details. We'll see if that is correct when we go through the answers. 100% leaning towards A. Penultimate question of the final round. Number 15. So when viewing transactions dated before the current VAT period, what should you check before deciding to include them? Again, I do feel a bit mean for having a longer question there, but it is just to provoke thought. The answer A, whether the transaction date is correct. B, whether the transaction is a genuine late entry. Or C, all of the above. So when you're viewing your transactions dated before the current VAT period, what should you check before deciding to include them? And although it does sound like a complicated question, if you step back from it, hopefully it reveals itself to be a lot easier than it seems. And I may be already in the pudding there because the votes are coming in thick and fast. I shall share the polls with you actually, because nearly everybody has voted on that one. 100% all of the above. Was I too generous with the wording? And final question of the rounds, as it were. So we have number 16 in front of you. If you reverse a reconciled transaction, the reversal itself will automatically be included in the next VAT return. So if you reverse a reconciled transaction, the reversal itself will automatically be included in the next VAT return. I do like this question as well, because it makes you think about the process. Brilliant. Fast answers in again. I shall share the poll and we'll go through the answers. So 79% say true, 21% say false. Let us see, shall we? Round 4, answers a go. So question 13, if a VAT return has already been reconciled, you can simply edit the transactions included in that return to correct the errors. It's true. And there we have it. Question 14, if you need to correct a VAT transaction that was not yet reconciled, what is the recommended approach? Well, it's to edit the transaction directly to update the VAT details. It's the quickest way. Again, we're talking about roads that lead to Rome. The straight line there is just to edit the transaction directly. So editing the transaction is always going to be the way to move forward on that one. Because they can be before they're reconciled. I'm able to see the answers there. Let me just check. Yeah, well, the screens hadn't switched over. Thank you very much indeed, everybody, for pointing that one out. There is a 20-second delay, so I will just hover for 20 seconds. Superb. So let's go back a couple of steps there. First one, if a VAT return has already been reconciled, you can simply edit the transactions included in that return to correct the errors. Question 14, if you need to correct the VAT transaction that was not yet reconciled, what's the recommended approach? Well, it's just to edit the transaction directly to update the VAT details. And then question 15. When viewing transactions dated before the current VAT period, what should you check before deciding whether to include them? Now, forgive the slides here, because there is an option C there. And that C, we shall delete. That was from a previous set of answers that we had for a different question. So there we are. It is C, all of the above. Hopefully that's fixed it for you. Get that. I think there's been gremlins in the system every time I've ran a VAT question. It feels a bit cursed at the moment. But yes, C, all of the above. Yeah, good point, Simon. We removed C from there because it was a bit too ambiguous. So the remaining options are A and B. So if you answered A and B, all of the above, you are correct. Have no fear. No points lost. And finally, if you reverse a reconciled transaction, the reversal itself will automatically be included in the next VAT return. So if you reverse a reconciled transaction, the reversal itself will automatically be included in the next VAT return. It's correct. It will ask you to include or ignore what you've corrected on the previous VAT return when you go to run it. There will be a list if you cast your minds back to Wednesday's webinar. It'll give you the option to include or ignore. You know, you can't include individual transactions. You have to include all of them that are in that list, and that's where I suggested you would print off the Excel spreadsheet and investigate the transactions before including them. Always say that. But every time you run a VAT return, theoretically that box should be empty, shouldn't it? Unless you have performed a correction on a reconciled transaction. But as you all pointed out there, before you reconcile your VAT, always take a backup. Because once it's reconciled, the only way to correct it on that VAT return is to restore that backup. A lot of you pointed that out in the question in the chat there. I can't obviously reply via text because it's only me today, but you all are quite correct. Excellent. So how did we do? No, you're quite correct there, Simon. So question 13, it should actually be false. Let's jump back to that one. It should actually be false, because the only way you can do it is recording. I'll have to have a look at that one. But again, gremlins in the system, we shall put that down to. So give yourself a point for false on question 13, or B if you've written B down. Very well done indeed. Right, let's go through the final. Now already, crack your knuckles, make sure your pen has ink in it, or your typing fingers are ready to type, because it is time for an anagram. And because it's Christmas, I'm giving you two anagrams. The first anagram accident lover. What could that be? The clue is irreversibly considered. Excellent, love that. First one to answer it gets a bonus. It's Christmas. Gets a bonus 2 points, not 1. So you get 2 points for getting this anagram correct. Who was going to be first? If you do wish to have another clue, I will say we've just been talking about this. Tracy got there. Superb. So Tracy got in there first. So Tracy, award yourself 2 bonus points, please. Just going to give everybody 5 more seconds so they can have a guess. The answer is VAT, reconciled, VAT reconciled. Well done. Second anagram, final one as well. Circled inflation. So consider this before. Circled inflation. And the clue is, consider this before. I said this very sentence at the start of the webinar. Yes, Virginia, I'll give you a half point for that one. Well done. But on to this one. Any guesses? Somebody nearly got this one for the other anagram. Any clue I'm going to give? But yes. Circled inflation. I'm going to say close on Simon's guess there. I'm going to say close. So Simon, I am helping you out a wee bit. I'm not going to read out your answer. But you were close with that one. This one is tough, Virginia. It is a difficult one. Judy, very close indeed. Very close indeed as well. We've got 2 that have nearly got it. There we go. Excellent. Simon, you got there. Superb. Is anybody else going to guess it? Simon, award yourself those 2 bonus points, please. To be honest with you, if you hadn't got it there, Simon, I would have awarded you a point anyway because you were very quick to the almost answer. But you get the 2 bonus points for that one. Superb. Good guess, Hazel, but not quite. I can see where you're coming from with that one. What I'm going to do is reveal the answer for you all. Non-critical field. Round of applause, everybody there, for guessing. They were tough anagrams. Apologise, I came up with them. I must have feeling a bit grinchy, mustn't I, when I came up with those, because they're quite elongated in comparative to that what we usually have. But well done for guessing, everybody, and thank you very much for your attendance today. It's been a wonderful quiz. I know we've slightly overrun, so I'll whiz through the end for you. We have webinars at sage.co.uk/webinars. You can see what's coming up all the way through to January. Tracy, yuck, she said. It's the anagram. So sage.co.uk/webinars. Log on, 50 accounts live, and see what we've got coming your way. But again, thank you very much for attending today. Fire your scores into the chat just before you leave if you can. Joanne, that's a very high score. Very good indeed. Excellent, Margaret. Excellent. Off to celebrate. Well, you have a wonderful celebration, Margaret. A great score there. As always, Margaret, you always get good scores on our quiz. Jenny, that is a super impressive score there. Good question. That's coming there saying, from Gypsy saying, how long will it take for the badge to come through to us? Well, I will be checking the list twice. Again, terrible Christmas segue there. But I'll be checking the list of names that have attended and we'll be cross-referencing all the information that we have, and I'll be sending them out next week. I don't have any holidays over Christmas. The Scrooge. So I'll be working, so I'll be sending those out to you. So any questions, get them fired in. I'm going to be there for you. But this has been a super quiz. So well done, everybody. And if you do need to watch any of the webinars again, head across to sage.co.uk/webinars. We load them up there after they've been done, but you'll also receive recordings if you have attended the webinars as well. But go to our website and have a look, just type in what you want to see. I'm sure we've got information on it. If not, fill in the survey and tell us what you want to see, and we'll look at building it for you. Because we build these webinars for you, so we want to give you what you want to see. But I'm going to say thank you very much to you all. It's been a wonderful experience speaking to you all today. I hope you have fabulous weekends. If I don't see you, have wonderful festive periods and a cracking new year. And again, if we're not going to see you, hopefully I'll speak to you soon. Have a good one all. Bye for now.